Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to the news around the world last week or the end of the week. I don't know, it doesn't matter. This is about the feminist celebrity astronauts who saved the world. This is from Brett Cooper's YouTube channel, and I'm interested to get her take on it specifically. Let's see what she has to say.
There is truly nothing more unserious than a bunch of female celebrities flying into space in a dong-shaped ship while claiming that they're astronauts saving humanity. But alas, that is 2025. So last Monday, we all watched as Blue Origin took its 31st flight into orbit with an all-female crew, which included Katy Perry and Gayle King, aka Oprah's best friend, because that's the only reason we know Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez, who is Jeff Bezos' fiance. And guys, this flight into space was propped up as some sort of historic endeavor, because this was Blue Origin's first female crew. It was the first all-female crew that had ever gone to space since 1963, and because of that, it turned into a whole girl power movement. And leading up to this trip has just been a lot. Like, I have wanted to talk about this on the show probably for months at this point, but I have been waiting to watch this actually transpire to see what happened when they went into space before we did an all-encompassing recap. And guys, it was better than I ever expected. I mean, the actual trip, the fallout, the PR crisis, it has been so juicy and incredible to see. There was so much PR. We had been talking about it for months. Everybody was taking it so seriously because it was going to be this profound and impactful endeavor on society. These 6 women being thrust into space. Like, I literally thought that they were going to space for a few days. I thought that they were in training for months, that they were going to go up to the International Space Station. Like, I've never paid attention to the Blue Origin flights. Like, that's Jeff Bezos' company. It's space tourism. I had no idea what was going on, but I literally thought that this was a serious endeavor. But no. The trip was 11 minutes long. Just take a look at this graph. They leave Earth, they pop right up just into orbit so that they can look down and see Earth, and then they immediately come back down. Like, they experienced zero gravity and weightlessness for about 3 minutes. And
they literally did a U-turn. Like, quite literally did a U-turn. It's comical. It is. It's comical. I think they would have been better off showing perhaps the behind the scenes, the preparation it took, because I do believe there probably was some preparation. You can't just like send civilians into space without some type of training and education. I think they would have been better off showing the BTS on that than the nonsense we got. First of all, Gayle looked like she had signed up to go to war. Like, she knew it was her last day on Earth. Somehow I do believe Katy Perry has caught the most flack for this. And I'm not sure why. Like, Katy Perry's one of those celebrities that, like, people just can't stand her. And I mean, I'm not like 100% down for Katy Perry. I'm not going to her concerts or anything. I mean, her music comes on the radio and I might know a bop or two, but what's with the Katy Perry hate train? I don't know. And then it was like, obviously Jeff Bezos' fiance is gonna be there. And honestly, I'm glad she only named those 3 because I don't know if I remember who the other 2 were. But yeah, for me, and then for Gayle to come back and be like, we don't understand all this backlash. Imagine young girls. It's like, are we gonna pull that card? Are we gonna pull that card? First of all, no. Let's not pull that card, because I don't know the whole young girl thing. Like, are young girls looking at what y'all did and thinking you accomplished anything? You didn't tell us, like, how you got there. What was your purpose? Like, it just seemed like it was a bucket list thing for rich people, and they got to mark it off their list. Let's be honest. I'm really interested in Brett's take because, well, she is of the younger generation. I think she does a really good job of, if something is good, whether she agrees with it or not, she can place that somewhere. She can make space for that. And then also, I wanted to see a younger woman specifically react. Everyone has been reacting to this. But I just, like, you know, this is the generation it was supposed to impact. And it's just like, and I think a lot of us women who this was supposed to be for all feel the same way. It's like, don't do me any favors. Thank you and no thank you. Because it just felt so pointless. There was no substance. There was no purpose. There was nothing that was motivational about it. Do you know? And then for it to be Jeff's company, Jeff's fiance is on it's just like, okay. Y'all are just rich and bored and have nothing else to do. I could give you some things on your to-do list if you're this bored.
come back down. Like, they experienced zero gravity and weightlessness for about 3 minutes. And they did all of this in a spaceship that literally looks like a wang. Like, even their graph here looks like just the tip, which is basically what they did. They just got to the tip of space, and then they came back down. Like, basically, in less scientific terms,
you're funny.
This was the flight.
You can always count on SpongeBob for a reference.
Just the tip into space for Gayle King and Katy Perry. Now, I will not knock these women completely. Like, going into space is obviously not a walk in the park. Would I ever do it? Abso-freaking-lutely not. I will not even get in a helicopter. So there is no way that I would be throwing myself into space, even if it was only for 11 minutes. But this 11-minute trip is certainly not what it was made out to be, nor did it really have the impact that they hoped for. Because while they were screeching about girl power and taking up space and inspiring women, we have been making fun of them for over a week. Now, before we get into this...
Also, I love that when everyone realized, like, I think at first everybody was like, okay, whatever. Then we saw them all walk on, everybody was like, okay, whatever. Then we realized they were only in space or on this craft for 11 minutes. I mean, the memes started rolling in. It was like, really? They trained longer than they were up in space. Like, they probably did zero gravity training, like, in the Space Center where they actually, like, simulated zero gravity for longer than they did up in space. And I just I'm with Brett on this one. I loved the fallout from it because it was hilarious. Like, everyone, like, cracking up, laughing at, like, how unserious this was. Like, this was not a mission. This was a lunch date at the tip of where Earth and space meet. Like, what is happening? But okay, yes, like she said, okay, there was some good here, I guess. The whole taking up space thing is like, we just finished brutalizing another woman who spent months up in space. Everybody was like, they're stuck up there. Months. People brutalized this woman for what she looked like after spending months in space. Like, everybody was talking about how old she looked and how bad she looked. And then you have the Spice Girls of space walking in their Skims tight space suits and their hair and makeup done. And it's just like, the woman that we really should have been making space for and appreciating, who's an actual astronaut who really went out there with a mission and is solving things and figuring things out for our planet, was annihilated for the way she looks. We need to talk about that. There's a problem with that. There's something wrong with that.
Space and inspiring women, we have been making fun of them for over a week. Now, before we get into this story and what a joke all of it was, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel if you've not already. And of course, ring that notification bell so that you stay up to date on all of our uploads. And I just want to remind you guys that I am going on tour this spring. We are actually leaving for tour in just a couple of weeks. So if you've not bought your tickets yet, they are linked in the description below. You can see if I'm coming to a city near you.
I hope you all come so I can meet you guys
and see all of your beautiful faces. Now, again, guys, I thought that this was far more serious and intense than it actually was. Like, I thought that these women, I thought that Katy Perry was with NASA training for months and months, that they would be in space for days. And honestly, I think that they had also decided that this was a lot more important than it actually was. And when I say they, I am specifically talking about Katy Perry and Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez, who are the real culprits here of this PR fiasco, because they were the ones who really turned this into their feminist rallying cry. Like, this was their way to make their billionaire, celebrity, elitist joyride feel important and to garner more attention, and they were willing to do whatever it took to make that happen. And the message that they landed on that was going to be so important and impact all of us was that them going on this, again, 11-minute joyride where they would experience 3 minutes of weightlessness in actual space was that they were going to teach women. They were going to teach all of us how to take up space. This was actually something that...
Women. I am a woman. Women. You are a woman. Raise your hand in the comments if you felt that you were taught how to take up space after watching this U-turn. Anyone? I'll wait.
Teach women. They were going to teach all of us how to take up space. This was actually something that they were doing for all of us. Truly, going to space was really for all of our benefit. It was constant. So annoying. Now that we know that that was the intent, let's go see them actually in space. Let's see them in action, taking up all of that space for our benefit.
Deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out.
I mean, it's pretty fabulous that we can literally hear them coming down to Earth. And these are not experienced astronauts. They don't know what they're just screeching all the way down. They've been screaming up in space, screaming on my...
It sounded like New Year's Eve, like the the ball was dropping and like they popped a bottle of champagne and then everyone was screaming. That's what
and they don't know what they're just screeching all the way down. They've been screaming up in space, screaming, "Oh my God, we're taking up space," and now they're screaming all the way down. Like it was just complete and utter female silliness.
That's not even what that phrase means.
Serious people. These are not serious women. I mean, serious people would be thanking God that they're on their way home. They would be saying a prayer, possibly with their Hallow app. Now, this Easter season, you can embrace the freedom of the resurrection as we pray with Sister Miriam James Heidland, Father John Burns, Liz Tabish, and Kevin James through the spiritual classic Interior Freedom by Father Jacques Philippe. In each of these prayer sessions on Hallow, you will learn how to walk in freedom amidst the circumstances of our daily lives. You'll be able to let go of external attachments and discover the peace and freedom that come with trusting in God's love and grace. The peace and freedom that come with not catapulting yourself up into space. So continue the joy of the Easter season with brief prayers, reflections, and meditations that will help you continue the daily prayer habits that you deeply established during Lent. Hallow has thousands of prayers, meditations, and music and programs to help you build a daily habit of prayer and grow closer to God. Get 3 months free at hallow.com/Cooper and grow closer to God every single day this Easter season. Once again, that's hallow.com/Cooper to get 3 months free of Hallow. But here's the thing. I don't want to spend this entire episode just making fun of these women because, look, I'm glad that they had a great time. These are rich women. They are celebrities. They can do whatever they want with their money. Jeff Bezos can do whatever he wants with his money. I'm glad that Gail conquered her fear of flying because apparently she is incredibly anxious, and Oprah always talks about how Gail is so anxious. So, good for her. I'm glad that Katy Perry reached her dream of going to space, which was apparently a dream of hers. But this was not some big leap.
That actually tracks because Katy Perry has done like a lot of like her music videos are like spaceship themed and like her performances. So all right, maybe she hasn't. Like, I always dreamed of going to Tokyo. Who am I to say she didn't dream of going to space?
For women. Like, that is utterly ridiculous to assert. I mean, this entire thing was basically a glorified bachelorette trip, as Dana Lash put it in her newsletter from last week. She wrote, the Blue Origin event included Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, who, in her defense, can actually pilot a chopper, has a real interest in aviation, and actually owns an aerial film production company. Gayle King, because when I think of space travel, I think of Oprah's best friend, and Katy Perry, who always speaks like she's reading from a Tampax instruction pamphlet or a lost chapter of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It is not a new mission for Blue Origin. They have done these sorts of quick suborbital trips 11 times before. The ladies went into air, but not technically into space. They were passengers, not astronauts, no more than were pilots for riding on jets. These things are fine and good. It's just weird to see this 11-minute stratospheric trip presented as some major advancement into space exploration. It's not. It was a girls' trip. They spent more time taking a million photos of themselves for social media than they spent in the air. They literally spent more time giving interviews and being on the cover of Elle magazine than they did in that phallic spaceship. Like, honestly, the bigger innovation, the bigger leap forward for women was the fact that Lauren Sanchez redesigned the astronaut suits for women. And she made them flattering and comfortable and hugging all the right places. Like, that genuinely might have had a greater impact on female astronauts than a celebrity feminist joyride. But again, who am I to...
Right. I probably actually would have been really interested to see her, like, design process and her thought behind that. And if the women, the actual astronauts are actually going to start wearing these moving forward. Like, those are the type of things that can inspire a young designer of male or female background. I don't know. It's like, those are the type of things I would have preferred to see. Like, I'd rather have watched Katy Perry pack her bag than that. And they like were interrupting regular scheduled programming for this. Like, they made it this whole thing, and it's just like, but then you talk about Lauren Sanchez and how she owns all these things and she's done all, like, I would have been way more interested in that than what they did. And whoever put this together and made it this PR thing, you dropped the ball, honey. You dropped the ball. Like, no, I don't think anyone cares that it happened. I think it's the way they rolled it out, like it was this big historical, life-changing event. It changed the world for women. Like, what? Shut up.
Female astronauts than a celebrity feminist joyride. But again, who am I to rain on their parade? Like, they were and they still are very undeterred, making this very meaningful. It was meaningful for them. It's going to be meaningful for us if they can make it happen. But guys, like, watching them exit that spacecraft, like, that might have been even funnier than the actual event itself or anything leading up to it. And I know that I keep saying I don't want to rain on their parade and then I just continue making fun of them, but it's genuinely so ridiculous because we all saw how not impactful the entire event was, and it felt like they were the only ones who were not in on the joke. Like, Katy Perry, she literally kissed the ground as she exited the spaceship after being gone for 11 minutes. Just watch.
Katie!
So she like skips off of the ship. She's holding up a daisy in her arms as if she's holding up her microphone, as if she just performed in concert. She's kissing the freaking ground. Again, when she was gone for 11 minutes. Like, imagine being one of the astronauts who was just stuck up in space for over 9 months. And you watch this celebrity pop star twirling daisies and skipping and flipping her hair and kissing the ground because she's so happy to be home after she was literally up in space for 3 minutes. Because of feminism. Because it's feminism, because she's changing the world. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But Katie did not stop with just kissing the ground. Because after that, she gave a very, very strange, kind of Kamala Harris-inspired monologue about just feeling so...
Now, why did Kamala have to catch a stray? Kamala didn't have anything to do with it. She just caught a stray bullet out of nowhere. Y'all gotta stop bringing up Kamala and Joe every chance you get because you don't like something. Kamala just caught a stray out of nowhere.
Very, very strange, kind of Kamala Harris-inspired monologue about just feeling so connected after this entire experience.
Connected to what?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
Wow. Thank you so much. I mean, truly, Dana Lash said it best. You cannot understand a word that this woman is saying. There was another interview that Katy Perry gave prior to launch where she was asked about why she was so excited about this trip. And she was like, I love STEM and like the math of it all and like the science and just like getting into the STEM. And that was her actual...
She was better off, like, saying, you know, my children are in love with space, and to be able to do this for them, like, make it personal. And y'all know I don't like to use the word dumb and stupid, but a hit dog will holler. It was just such a reach of profound depth. Like, what are we talking? She didn't even say, to turn off my ringer. She didn't even say like life. Love? Okay. I mean, who am I to say she didn't really feel that way? But it does feel deeply shallow, trying to present as deeply deep. And as dumb as that just sounded, as stupid as I just sounded, stupid is as stupid does.
And just like getting into the STEM. And that was her actual answer. She was like, I'm so into STEM. No, you're not. You're really not. You are a pop star. And you're saying that you feel connected to love because you went to space for 3 minutes. Like, it's just ridiculous. And again, guys, she really wanted to hammer in why this mission was so important, again, for women.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future. My journey has always been about love and belonging, and I think that we have all felt that sometimes we weren't worthy or we didn't belong, and in certain ways, no matter all the acts.
You paid to be there, you belong to be there. I just don't know anyone in the real world that ever has been like, I don't feel like I belong in space. I don't feel that way. I don't know anyone of any race, religion, creed, background, demographic, tax bracket. I don't know anyone, do y'all? I now understand why she is catching most of the flack. I take back what I said at the beginning, because, girl, you are making this a Maya Angelou mission, and it is simply a trip to In-N-Out. It's taken me longer to get to In-N-Out, get in the line, get my food, and leave In-N-Out than it did you making that U-turn up in the sky.
We weren't worthy or we didn't belong, and in certain ways, no matter all the accolades, no matter all the studying, no matter anything. And I think today we all said it, like, we belong here.
I mean, guys, there's another minute in that clip, and I have no desire to continue watching it or showing it to you because she says nothing of any importance. She belongs, she made space, she felt love, she's inspiring change, she is bringing unity. I mean, that's the only thing she got right. She unified the entire country, the entire world in laughing at this incredibly stupid flight. But again, I really don't think she cares because she took up space, and that is all that matters.
It's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. it's about a collective energy
They were
in there.
singing
it's about
her songs.
It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging.
I mean, again, it's a bunch of hubbub. It is literally a bunch of nothing. Her higher power, it's a collective energy. She's singing in space for us. Are we all grateful? Do we feel the power of taking up space and belonging because Katy Perry went up into space for 3 minutes and sang "Oh, What a Wonderful World" and stared into the camera like she was on Xanax? That's literally what we saw. And truly, guys, the story just kept growing from there on social media. Like, they could not escape how ridiculous this was. And this was driven primarily by Katy Perry, unfortunately. And I think that she was hoping that this would really push her into new stardom, help the fact that her last album was a huge flop. She's trying to go on tour. She needs to sell tickets. Like, she was literally up in space holding up her set list for her new tour. This was all a marketing ploy, but it really just turned people against her because they realized that they were just watching some mixture of the Hunger Games mixed with Veep. Like, it's elitist celebrities taking joyrides into space in sexy...
Brett, who's writing your stuff, girl? You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. I saw this photo, like, on rotation, but I didn't realize it was her set list. Now it feels icky. Now it feels really slimy and lame, and... It does. It feels like her label took a chunk out of her promotional budget for this tour and was like, we're going to send you up to space. We need tickets to sale. Tickets to sale. I can't even talk properly because my brain cells are frying. We need to sell some tickets. So we're going to send you to space and you're going to sing all your anthems. This is my fight song. Isn't that her? Isn't that her? Roar. And I was about to say this girl is on fire, but shoot, might as well, girl. I'm kind of angry.
Hunger Games mixed with Veep. Like, it's elitist celebrities taking joyrides into space in sexy outfits, telling us, the peasant women, how this was actually all for us, all for American women, but also was kind of like Veep because the women literally acted like they were in a sitcom. Like, it was the most nauseating display of gravitas and self-importance. And everyone online, no matter how old you were, no matter your background or who you voted for,
we're saying the same
and
thing.
I mean everyone.
Everybody.
There was not a corner of the internet, not even the legacy media journalists that were supposed to prop up these feminists, not even they could get behind this. And Megyn Kelly put it so well on her show.
I know. We're supposed to be celebrating them. Somehow it's supposed to be empowering because not enough women have gone up into space. What we mean is not enough are astronauts.
Right,
not
I can't
enough
talk
women are
either.
astronauts. That's what we mean. We don't mean, please put Gayle King in yet another opportunity for her to try to act like a star while she's next to Oprah. I don't feel empowered. This is like another... It's female White House press corps day at the White House. If they had been 6 astronauts going up there, then yes, okay. What did they do? The one gal is engaged to a billionaire, and these are a bunch of celebrities she wanted to befriend. Okay. Of course, Lauren Shands has, whatever her name, had to show off her tits. Okay, it's a little early in the hour to be dropping the T word. Her breasts in her little fake astronaut outfit. Because, you know, what's a day if we don't get to see the girls on Lauren Sanchez?
I mean, it's perfect. And Megyn made a great point. Like, it's early in the hour to be talking about tits. It's so strange how this story is just accidentally sexual. Like, the entire thing is just so weird. Like,
I mean, when you make form-fitting, like, bodycon. I agree. I don't know if I ever thought I'd see the day where I say I agree with Megyn Kelly. Because she's another one that I feel like Candace... Or even, like I said, when I first started watching Brett's new podcast, is that they are presented to be very angry and very one-sided, very polarizing, very divisive. That's how, like, a lot of what you see in the media presents them. And though I do think Megyn Kelly is an equal opportunist when it comes to, like, dogging people out. I don't think it's like only Democrats or black people or whatever. I think she just went in on Sanchez and Katy Perry and Gayle or whatever. I don't know. I just never thought I'd see the day where I agree with everything she just said. Everything. And she looks fantastic. She looked great right there. Yeah, I think, right? Like, if this was a champion effort to showcase the lack of female astronauts and to get female scientists to want to study to become astronauts, then we maybe should have used some other people for this, like, faux mission. This didn't do that. This didn't do that at all. It didn't highlight anything that's lacking in the astronomical world. It did nothing. It did nothing, but It did give the world some comic relief, especially our country, which I think we need some comic relief right now. So I guess congratulations, you did that. I also don't like that Gayle keeps catching strays for being Oprah's best friend. I get it. I do think, like, right, it's like, what are you famous for? Being Oprah's best friend? But, like, it's the same thing as nepotism. Like, if your very best friend, became a cajillionaire and didn't put you on in any way, that is not your best friend. That's not your best friend. It's the same thing as nepotism. It's like, why are we mad that Bronny is now a Laker? It's like, that's what his father worked so hard to do. Like, his dad put in all that work all this time. He kept telling us, I want to play basketball with my son. Why are we mad at Shador and Shiloh? It's like, y'all don't like his dad, but his dad worked as hard as he did to position these boys. It happens in finance. It happens with white people. It happens with black people. It happens in every type of career. Why can't this lady capitalize off of being Oprah's best friend? She should have. She absolutely should have. Now, she sat back and just lived life off of Oprah's dime and went everywhere with Oprah and never even had her own anything, y'all be mad at that too. The lady has a career. Did she get doors open for her because of Oprah? Yeah, and she should have. And anybody else who has a cajillionaire best friend, Sanchez here, not only did she get on the aircraft, she designed the outfits for it. You think she did that on her own regard? No, she did it because she's Jeff Bezos' woman. That's a little bit of her, you know what I'm saying, connection. What's wrong with that? I just think we should all be capitalizing on the people around us that are there to put us in place. Like, I just don't see anything wrong with that. So I hate that she keeps catching the stray on this. Like, and everyone keeps giving her a hard time. I get it, but I'm just like, what do y'all want her to do? Go work at McDonald's and y'all make fun of her for being Oprah's best friend and working at McDonald's. What do you want this lady to do? Give her a break. Anyway, I'm probably not going to watch this whole thing because I think we've all gotten the point. But I am super entertained by Brett right now. The writing on this show is great.
Perfect. And Megan made a great point. Like, it's early in the hour to be talking about tits. It's so strange how this story is just accidentally sexual. Like, the entire thing is just so weird. Like, that is just another layer into this literally not being serious in the slightest. And she made a good point. Like, go have fun. Show off the girls, Lauren Sanchez, if that's really what you want. Have a silly time. But don't pretend like you are empowering women or saving the freaking planet or moving space exploration forward in any way, shape, or form. Because, again, this was a joyride. Now, interestingly, the loudest voices that were critiquing this entire journey were from other rich female celebrities who were basically, in my opinion, just trying to virtue signal on top of the astronauts virtue signaling. And these were people like Olivia Munn and Olivia Wilde and Emily Ratajkowski, who all had choice words for these crew members. Now, Olivia Munn was one of the first to comment. This was way before they even got on the ship. And she said, quote, I know that this is probably obnoxious, but, like, it's so much money to go into space and there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. What's the point? Is it historic that you guys are going on a ride? I think it's a bit gluttonous. Space exploration was to further our knowledge and to help mankind. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here? Well, great. Olivia, they're taking up space for us. They're making space for us. That is really helping women all around the world who can't afford eggs. Obviously, we should be very grateful. Now, Olivia Wilde also posted this on her story. She said $1 billion bought some good memes, I guess. Like, yeah, genuinely, that's the only good thing that has come out of this entire endeavor is that I'm able to do an episode about it. That's really, like, it's made me laugh. That is the one positive here. But of all of these criticisms, Emily Ratajkowski's video was my personal favorite. And you're going to see the glaring hypocrisy here.
A space mission this morning. That's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parody. Saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like, I'm disgusted.
And listen, I obviously get what she's saying and we agree on a lot of this, but all of these women who are criticizing the Gayle Kings and the Katy Perrys, they are extremely rich. Emily Ratajkowski filmed that video in her Sprinter van. She frequently gets on private jets, just as social media users have been pointing out. They are echoing the right points. The sentiment is there.
Wrong messenger.
But this really wasn't who the public wanted to hear that from. Like, one commenter said, I'm fine with them flying private planes, but their blind hypocrisy and or fake virtue signaling is grating, though. Another person said, AKA, they would have gone, but they weren't invited. Now, Bethany Frankel, who you guys know is probably my favorite and most self-aware rich celebrity, she called all of this out in this TikTok.
This space odyssey is a circular reference of satire. I mean, Emily Ratajkowski commenting on a waste of resources and privilege from a Sprinter, a car that I used to have, by the way, guilty as charged. Just like Saturday Night Live cannot come fast enough. Like, honestly, can I please play Emily Ratajkowski in the Sprinter talking about wasted resources?
Did SNL recreate this? Of course they did. Am I going to react to it? I got to find it. I'm reacting to it. Bethany Frankel's another one that I'm like, sometimes she says some stuff and I'm like, girl, she used to be my favorite on New York Housewives when they first came out. She was the best. She's glowing, by the way. I mean, the cheekbones, the skin, the brows, she's glowing. But yeah, she has a point. It's like the rich condemning the rich for doing things they would have done had they been invited. But they weren't let in. It's like the ones that don't like the Met. It's like, oh, but you weren't invited to the Met. How you hating from outside the club when you couldn't even get in? Dum, dum, dum.
In the Sprinter talking about wasted resources. The whole thing is a PR shit show.
It is. It is literally a nightmare. And there is nothing at this point that they could do to save it because it was already a firestorm on social media. Like, none of this is relatable. The people going up into space are not relatable. The celebrities talking about it in their Sprinter vans are not relatable. It is not inspiring, nor is it empowering for any of us back down on Earth. Like, we don't care about the celebrities even calling it out. We would rather you just stay in your bubble looking hot and being not relatable. That would actually be the best thing you could do for all of us. Now, obviously, because of the social media firestorm and the PR nightmare, as Bethany was talking about, these astronauts could not stay in their bubble for very long, and sooner or later, they did have to start addressing some of these very valid criticisms, and this is really where Gayle King took center stage. Katy Perry really caused the problem, but Gayle...
All right, I thought I was going to end it, but if we're going to talk about Katy, we got to talk about Gayle.
I was like, no, don't worry, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fix this situation. And you know what she did?
Seal the coffin.
She told all of us that actually all of the criticisms were just misogynistic. Take a listen.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. You know, we duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day, pretty much. No one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted.
It was. It literally was. Katy Perry was flying around with Daisy, showing us all her set list. You were talking about girl power. You were in sexy spacesuits. I think that is about as silly and frivolous as something could be. I mean, Gayle, something that is actually misogynistic in our world right now is people thinking that I can't grill a steak, which actually I can't, which is why Alex manages all of the Good Ranchers in our house.
That was a good segue.
Now, for anyone out there who is worried about the tariffs affecting them at the grocery store, do not worry anymore, because Good Ranchers is completely tariff-proof. And that is because their meat is actually 100% American-raised. It is all born, raised, processed, packaged, and shipped right here in the United States. And not only will you not have to worry about your meat prices going up, but Good Ranchers is also giving you your pick of free meat for life when you subscribe today. That is free ground beef, wild-caught salmon, seed oil-free chicken nuggets, or bacon in every box for the life of your subscription. And not only are their cuts of beef, chicken, and pork and seafood delicious, but the service and the value that they deliver is unmatched. This is an amazing company run by great people, and I am so proud to work with them, and I'm so excited they are giving you this offer. So today, change the way that you buy meat and economy-proof your meals with Good Ranchers, because in a world that is constantly changing, you should know that at least one thing is staying stable. Visit goodranchers.com/Brett today. You can unlock your free meat for life and get $40 off with my code Brett at checkout today. Do not leave your food up to chance. Lock in a secure supply of American meat at a steady price today at goodranchers.com. Again, claim $40 off and free meat for life if you use code Brett at checkout. But back to the point.
Boy, I tell you what, these tariffs, if anything, gotta be boosting American-made companies and their products. Because what I'm not doing, and now it's like, I'll say this, like, I'm shopping online right now for a trip, a big vacation I have coming up this summer. And now I'm having to make sure, like, my stuff is manufactured here in America or somewhere that's not going to, like, overcharge me now because of tariffs. It's interesting. So perhaps Trump's plan is already working.
BrittReacts.com. Again, claim $40 off and free meat for life if you use code Brett at checkout. But back to the point, Gayle calling this entire thing misogynistic and now pitting men against women, it is so predictable.
Such a
like,
reach.
not liking anything that somebody does in 2025 immediately means that you are misogynistic, you are transphobic, you are a bigot, you are a racist, a fascist, whatever the word of the day is. But nobody cares anymore. Like, we are over it. We're over it because we realize that those words have been diluted down to basically mean nothing. Like, I'm sorry, people being against you doesn't actually mean that they are a bad person. They might just be calling you out for something that was not done in good taste, that maybe you should have thought twice about doing. But even though that was ridiculous, that was not even the best part of Gayle's response to these criticisms. To really drive in the knife and illuminate the disparities between the classes, especially in this economic environment, she said this.
Have you been? If you've been and you still feel that way after you come back, please let's have a conversation.
She's literally saying, have you been to space? All of the people that are
You
criticizing
peasant,
her, that
stand
are
up if
criticizing
you've been
Katy
to- if
Perry
you've
and
been to
Lauren
space.
Sanchez, have you been to space? If you haven't, you can't talk about this. So you go ahead. You go ahead and pay $1 million and go to space, and then we can talk.
damn.
I mean, Gayle, that is the most tone-deaf thing you could have said. You just made this PR crisis 100 times worse. And I think
You want to talk about reading the room. Gayle, sometimes it's better to just stay quiet and stay at home, y'all. Just stay quiet and stay home. That's a life hack I've learned. I've had enough. I'm not watching anymore. I haven't had enough of Brett. I think she did great with this topic and this episode, but I've had enough of it. It's silly. And there is advancement that is needed in the space world. That's not it. Anyway, to the tune of what Brett just said, if you disagree or you agree, I don't care. I appreciate all perspectives, all comments and opinions. What I don't like, appreciate, or will accept is unkindness. So keep it kind in the comments. Talk to me down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Go and have the day that you deserve. Bye.